Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to look at how to configure integrations in cybercheck360.com. And I have logged in and I am in my profile. And once you are in your profile, you have the options here: search, list, and integration. When you click on integration, you will be taken to the save integration section. And from there, you can then click on add integration. So these are the three integration types that we currently support, and we are working on building more integrations that is mostly used by the security people. Okay, let's first talk about AbuseIPDB. AbuseIPDB is a well-reputed threat intelligence source. So here we are saying use this integration whenever I search for IP address because it's mostly related to IP. So that is the only option that is available here. And then here you are saying I authorize the submission of searched IOCs to AbuseIPDB. This is to make sure that you're okay with us performing the search or submitting the IP address to AbuseIPDB to search on your behalf and give you the result. For AbuseIPDB, you don't need to bring your own API key. We have a tie-up with AbuseIPDB, and we search on behalf of you. Okay, and once you have done that, you can actually save and enable. I have already done that. I'm going to show you on the other screen. For now, I'm just going to minimize. And coming into VirusTotal, I'm going to show you the possible features. So here it is version 3. That is the latest one we have. And here you can have, you can say like use this integration for IP or URL and domain. So in this case, it means I am telling that this integration can be used for all three of the indicator types. And you can bring the API key from the VirusTotal platform itself, and you can paste in here. And this reference name is nothing but it's a unique name that you can give it to your integration, so that when on the saved screens integration section, you will be able to differentiate what is if this is going to be the same API key or is it a different account if you have multiple stuff. That is there. And the rate limit here is like how many lookups am I allowed to perform in a minute. Let's say in this case, these are default lookups that we took it from VirusTotal itself. So that's what they recommend you to do on a free lookup, free API subscription. But if you have a paid subscription, if you have a higher limit, you can definitely change this. And we also collect you saying you authorize for us to submit this to VirusTotal. And also there is an option where we have save data for relookup for 7 days. I'll tell you in detail about this in a minute. So this actually means you can actually save the data. We save the data. Let's say you perform a lookup today for, let's say 8.8.8.8, and you used one API request with VirusTotal. And what we do is, what option we give you is we retain that data, the response from VirusTotal for 7 days. And within the next 7 days, if you perform any lookup for the same IP address, we are going to not use your API key. Instead, we are going to use the cached information for the 7 days. So the next time when you search, you will receive the information that was same as a day back or whenever the first search you performed. So the benefit is we are not utilizing your API if you look for the same indicator again. Okay, so from then you can save and enable, and it should be enabled. So the similar features we have for AlienVault, and you can do the similar stuff. I'm going to take you to saved integrations. So under the saved integrations, you can see that AbuseIPDB, I have it enabled, and I have in VirusTotal, I have two integrations. One I've given a unique reference name saying personal Vinod and Vinod second. It can be anything that means something for you. And here I have enabled only for URL, and this integration I have enabled for IP and domain. So whenever I perform an IP lookup, the API key or the information provided on this integration is not being used. Only the ones that is given on this will be used. And also sometimes people can have multiple integrations for IP, but let's say for VirusTotal, only one integration can have IP enabled when the integration is enabled. You can't have two integration enabled for IP. Let's say I have this for IP. I'm going to try to add the above one also, enable the above one for the IP address. When I click on this, it's gonna, let's say if I save it, it's gonna say IP is already used by another enabled integration. Only one enabled integration can use the IP at a time. So you can't have the integration type, but let's say if I want to disable it, I'm not enabling it, and I can now save it. This doesn't have any problem. So I have it enabled for IP and URL, but the integration itself is not enabled. If I try to enable, I'm going to get some errors because it is already enabled in another one. Okay. For the test purpose, I've done that. I'm removing it now. I'm going to save it. Perfect. Super. And you can do the same for AlienVault as well. You can go bring in your own API key from AlienVault. You can configure it and do things. And let's say you bought your API key from the vendor itself and you want to validate if it is working. You can actually test it from here, and you're going to say test OK. So which means the test did work and you're getting the response from the API. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back into the search page. So I am on the search page. Let's say I want to search for some IP address. In this case, I'm going to take the same IP. Okay, I'm performing a submit. Okay, now in this result, if you see a small section here for, the overall section below is for the integrations, but you see something saying cached. This means the result that you're seeing now is not actually the real-time lookup that we performed. It could be a lookup that we performed a few days ago within the 7 days time frame, and we are returning from the cached result. So for example, in this IP we searched in another example, and that's the reason why it was being cached, and you see the cached response. I'll show you an example where it is not cached. Let's say I'm typing some random numbers here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now that we have performed a search for this particular IP address, with this was you see that this information is not cached. So this is the first time I'm looking for that IP and it is not cached. That's pretty much on the integration. Make use of it and share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and try asking your friends to sign up if you really think this is helpful. And you also have an option on the right hand corner where you can actually provide feedback, report bugs, feature requests, or if you need any support, you can contact. Please feel free to request any features or request anything that you think that is not right, or feel free to make use of that option. Thank you so much.